Okay, hello and welcome everybody. It is Wednesday, so we are back in the dungeony, siegey world of Dungeon Siege. We've got Diz with us,
Welcome back, everybody.
and we are currently making our way through Glitter Delve, and still possibly quite a ways to go for all I know.
Again, the name Glitter Delve always just it adds to the funniness
Oh
of the
yeah,
genericness because this sounds like a mine that dwarfs would inhabit, and they do. They certainly do.
they do indeed, or at least did.
And yeah, Krug. Who knows? Maybe we'll find one or two. Maybe they're all holed up somewhere where it's safe.
Possibly. Now now I have to remember exactly what direction I have to go to move forward in this area, though. Let's see.
Well, there was the compass. I could always check for you. I'm pretty sure it's down that rail path.
You mean further to the east?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll go this way to start. I wasn't sure if we got turned around or not because everything looks kind of samey after you go through enough of these passageways.
That's understandable, but I will check your episode just to be sure this is the right way.
Okay. Oh, wait. I think we found something. This is an area that we haven't visited yet. And it's
Yep,
full of
this is the
stuff.
way. Your main character, yep.
I see him. I transmuted a bunch of the cheap stuff. Like the really
Yeah,
cheap
that's
stuff.
right. I remember that. That was off screen for those who were there
Right.
in the
Well,
know.
even more of it though. Like I did some arranging while you were on, and then actually this evening before I started up, I pulled all like the leather hats.
Yeah, so that's really nice, actually. Doing things off stream helps a lot. Oh, you need to select everybody before they all
Oh,
cast the heal.
that selection thing is so like occasional.
It really is, and it's absolutely something I had to get used to, right? Because it's like I have multi classes too. It'd be
Yeah,
nice to hit one button to get them back on their primary weapon,
right.
but there's no hotkey for that, of course.
No, of course not.
Like a hotkey for use weapon with highest skill.
Yeah, or even like you know how like a lot of real time strategy games have like you can select like a certain group and hit like Control One, and you create a like a group, right? Group one.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
could do that with
absolutely.
this and have like this is combat macro number one. This is combat macro number two, and that would
I mean, technically, if you want to do that, I probably will do that. Now that you mentioned macro, set up a keyboard macro so it auto does it for me.
yeah.
Since every hotkey in this game can be done via the keyboard, just the same as it can the mouse.
Nice. There we go. That didn't go too poorly.
And there was a chest back there too.
Was there? I missed it. Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Nice. There's a random thin cap here as well. I don't know.
Sir, does that fit your head?
It.
Speaking of, I was going to mention the fact that a game of this era, Morrowind, had a game option basically called Use Best Attack.
Uh huh. Yeah. Well,
So there were.
the reason they did
Mhm,
that was because Daggerfall had multiple different methods for attack,
yeah,
and Morrowind was the
yeah.
sequel to Daggerfall. So
It definitely was a different beast, a lot more dumbed down than Daggerfall was, but
yeah,
Daggerfall was good. It's funny because people talk up things like Breath of the Wild and stuff. Daggerfall did that first
a
with the wall
long time.
climbing.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that quite well.
Well, Daggerfall is interesting because it's now technically like officially freeware.
It is, yeah. It's it's been in the public domain, and officially there is a Unity for it on GOG and stuff like that, which I don't believe you should get
Ooh,
because
look at
they
this
do a
guy.
lot of. You know how GOG kind of does like gigabyte patches and stuff like that for modern systems and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Apparently, at one point, they messed up the Unity port of the game and added stuff that they shouldn't. Yeah, this seems like a big, mean old guy.
Yeah, he's a tough one.
A horrid, apparently.
So he's a
I,
two-headed ogre type creature, probably something like an Etten from other games. But I
I
guess
can't tell if that's his name, a creature name,
well,
or if that's just an adjective.
so he dropped a horrid club. So I assume it's like the name of this group of monster type things.
What's the item then? Interesting.
What's the item? Let's find out.
I mean, you'll probably find it if you select
Well, a
all.
thin cap of lesser zap is actually not bad. Defensive
It's
3.
not.
Somebody might be able to use that actually. Give me a second here. Before we
Anyone with a leather cap,
like the
probably.
woolly cap
Yep,
right there, he can replace that.
yep.
And
I
same
have
defense,
used the
but
less.
better.
I have used the things that cast spells when you take hits.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't as they aren't as useful as you would think because the targeting's so random in this game.
Yeah.
They have to be targeted for it to be useful.
Well, it's kind of
So
a DPS thing, you know. Every little bit helps, I
mhm,
guess. Because
it
I've seen
does.
we have a couple of characters equipped with like gloves that do that, and it shoots the spell in a random direction, but it usually hits something, and that's not too bad. So we got the
It's
Horrid Club here, 361 damage per 10 seconds, which isn't bad, but 17
yeah,
strength. We'll probably have better items than that by the time we get there.
pretty much. Yeah, I think that happened to me too, which is why it didn't sound as familiar to me. But yeah, there are some curated drops that you saw in the beginning of the game too. But yeah. And also that spell, the I think it's Spark Rate that you're talking about, that casts a counter when you take damage.
Uh huh.
It's not actually random direction. I think that spell is actually meant to be used from a distance, so you're using it close up, so
Oh.
it it keeps flying around them a
Oh,
little bit.
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, it is quite interesting. They removed it from the sequel and then added it back in with the expansion content,
Uh huh.
and it's interesting because they had a system that was bye bye. Get an ambush formation, I'm guessing.
We just have to stop moving, so he has to come to us.
I see. Hold the ground. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, if we can just get him off of that elevator, now we can switch back to regular movement. Okay, we've got a bunch of Krug dogs down there. We got a bunch of enemies down there. That looks like it's going to be a tough area.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish the map gave me more ability to like scroll around.
So, kind of off the cuff thing I wanted to mention.
Sure.
Yeah, I was actually a few minutes away from finishing your latest episode of Labyrinth of Toho 2,
Okay.
and I saw the comment on there. It was really nice that you got a new comment giving you some of the advice there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry you didn't give it a little sooner. I did mention the
Oh, don't worry about it.
counter,
I
but
mean, yeah.
oh,
That,
you're looking like you're about to fall off there,
yeah, she's
miss.
really close to falling off, huh?
Oh, there's explosive barrels. Watch yourself.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
I wonder if we're close enough that we can just shoot it.
No, that's a bad idea. That's a.
No, we're fine.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Ooh. That was way too close.
Well, it seemed to work out. All right.
Hmm.
We just have to wait a little bit longer for the elevator to wander around. That's the first time we've seen one that hasn't been next to something that like it breaks open.
You can select everybody so they get off all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, they're really making pause important.
It is, yeah. It is kind of the keystone central feature. Not a lot of people I've seen with this game have actually used the pause feature to its full utilization. A lot of people just kind of play the game in real time, and that just kind of removes the RTS spirit this game's going
Well,
for.
it makes it feel a lot like Baldur's Gate, the first one,
Yeah,
with the pause. Because Baldur's Gate, it was based on Dungeons and Dragons, so it's technically turn-based, but they did a good job of hiding it.
yeah. In this case, it's a lot less turn-based, so the pause really comes in super big handy and kind of melds the genres it's going for together.
Right. Okay, grab all that stuff. And let's...
See? Oh, another exploding barrel, yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Trying to...
Finagle.
Yeah, I kind of gather... Oh, we... Okay. We want her. We want her to shoot it with a bow. There we go.
But yeah, kind of as I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
believe it or not, the whole mention I had with that is that you're kind of at the zenith point where you've almost exhausted all the game's new content. There isn't any new content beyond one of the bosses there.
Interesting. Oh, you mean Labyrinth
So,
of Toho?
yeah, in
Yes.
Labyrinth. Labyrinth of Toho 2 might actually be close to done if you don't want to do repeat content because, yeah. Oh, everybody get off.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. Thankfully, this elevator is slower.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, not too bad.
I should probably mention this in my playthrough.
Yeah.
I put my mule on those lifts. I like to affectionately call it letting the donkey ride the escalator repeatedly. I put it there specifically because it helps keep them safe and everything, and it's
Yeah.
also a nice place to park.
True. Ooh, we got a Krug commander.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be rough.
Seems like we're getting close to the end of the mines then if the commanders are showing up.
Seems like it, yeah. Well, he's not doing too much damage. That's not too bad.
He's not that tough at all. Not so tough.
Okay, I see that there's a bunch of Krug over this way, so I'm gonna kind of poke off in the other direction first.
Yeah, it's a nice open area, surprisingly.
That has its pluses and its minuses, of course.
Well, usually those splitting paths are pretty linear, so they always converge back to the main path, so
Yeah.
at the very least it's there. Another snake bite.
Well, whatever.
You were saying?
We can sell it.
Yeah, you were saying?
No, I was just saying that the open areas can be kind of a curse and a blessing in this game because you can get surrounded by enemies pretty easily as well. They'll run around and go after your mages or whatever.
Yeah, I tend to notice that happening, but I think that tends to happen in kind of the corridor passages too.
Yeah, fair enough.
kind of like those little pockets where they're burst out of the wall or something.
Yeah. Krug fodder. Wow. That was a bloodbath. Almost feel sorry for him.
Yeah, the bloodbath is not on your end this time. I remember watching a bit of Krug's struggle points for you in the earlier parts, and yeah, in the early parts of the game, things can be a lot more rough.
Yeah, there's a little hit and run going on, and in addition, you can get overwhelmed pretty easily as a single character. Once you get a decent sized
Yeah,
party, you're in much better shape to take that on.
yeah, it really, this game gets so much better after you start getting people in it. It
Yeah,
just plays really well, especially because you notice some of the finer issues with a single character, like in melee combat, your character tends to miss a lot and everything like that.
yeah,
And you don't notice that when you have this many people, even though it technically still is there.
right,
So it's like they designed the miss to be a dynamic way around, just destroying everything.
right.
It's kind of a pseudo bounce, I
Uh oh,
noticed. Oh, uh-oh.
we're getting
Yep,
flanked.
you are, but hey, the stone golem is quite slow.
Well, we can draw the Krug out and take them out.
Ah, you see they're going back. Oh, well now your melee fighters are in range, so... Ah, did you see that?
See what?
He was about to slam the ground, but you walked out of his range, and thus he couldn't hit you.
And he actually changed his tune.
Yep, he went from that to range. That is actually a thing you can do. You notice how he throws rocks at you. That attack is a lot less hard hitting than the one where he slams the ground, yeah?
Yeah.
You
Well,
can bait him into attacks that you otherwise want him to use that are weaker. That way you buy enough time to avoid this.
well,
So there
fortunately, he
is a...
doesn't have too many hit points. So
hmm The ones at the beginning were kind of rough because they were the level they are now, but you've gotten stronger while they've stayed the same.
yeah,
Your equipment's gotten better too, so they just go down a lot easier. Of course, it's funnier if you can. It's a lot more funny if you could just destroy them before they can get a move off.
right.
It didn't drop anything. You
Yeah,
clicked it and nothing
apparently.
happened.
I was almost not sure whether I actually clicked it or not because it didn't do anything. But
You
apparently,
you
it did.
got
It did its thing, whatever it was, which was nothing.
yeah. This is the same problem with opening certain treasure chests and having nothing drop out
Yep.
that we had earlier episodes. It can happen to anything, including barrels and things like that. Was there physics on that barrel?
It looked like it. Yeah.
Rudimentary physics in this game. That's really interesting. I wonder
Things
if it's you.
things fall
Oh,
straight down. Yeah, not too bad. What's
yeah, I
this?
mean, it's basic, but I'm just sitting here from the game design perspective wondering, ooh, dangerous.
They don't seem
I'm
to
sitting.
have a huge range.
Oh, that'll change by the second game, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And they don't just they aren't just a big hitbox. They linger.
Oh, really?
They link.
Fun
Yeah, they
times.
linger. Which can be good because you can bait enemies into it, but can be bad because, yeah, is that just a basic linen armor?
Yep.
Oh no.
Thank
What?
you. Thank you.
Um,
Random number generator.
yeah, really. RNGesus is not on your side today.
Apparently not.
But that's okay because you got really good equipment last time, so
That's true.
maybe it's just biding its time.
Did am I crazy or am I missing an area? I thought there was another bunch of Krug down one of these paths, but this is the elevator over here. So it must be that we have to keep going
I
this way.
I think the other thing too was getting the mule.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the mule. I'll get him in a minute.
Yeah,
Once we're
that's fine.
relatively safe. I guess this
Hmm.
area is pretty safe at this point.
The mule is kind of a nice soft check too, because it's like if you miss anything, you'll definitely see it now that the action's died down.
We've checked this room before, haven't we? Yeah, we have.
This was the dead end, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not lit. And I think we went east and then we went this way.
Yeah, you did. You're on the right track.
I hope so.
You see the shrine there?
Yeah, yeah. What we need is a teleporting mule.
Uh-huh. Well, if you like teleporters, you'll like the sequel. In my case, I'm kind of the person that has a bit of a strong opinion about both these games. So
Uh huh.
yeah, yeah. I like that this game is the medieval journey that it is.
Yeah.
I like that there's no teleporters between towns. It's a process to get to the next town just as much as it is to go back and sell.
Yeah, yeah. No,
And
I
so
mean,
the game
sometimes
has
games get a little bit overly ridiculous with fast travel, you know?
yeah, especially now that we mention Morrowind, they had some pretty good organic options for fast travel, and a
Yeah.
lot of them cost money. But
Yes.
by the time Oblivion came out, everything on the map was there. And I recall watching a video talking about the interview and how there was a difference in design
Yeah.
with the creator versus everybody else who liked the original system.
Yeah.
Why add fast travel into the game if you can just fast travel anywhere? Especially noticeable in like the fifth game, Skyrim,
Yeah.
where there's random carriages that you pay to travel in, even though you can just fast travel to any major point.
Yeah, it would make more sense if the game had more missions with like a time element to them because it does simulate like, oh, it took you, 6 hours to walk from here to here, but like at the same time, there's not,
Hmm.
there's no missions where it's like, oh, you have to get here in 6 hours, or you have to get here in 4 hours. So fast travel is not viable, but a carriage might be.
It's funny you mention that because those did exist in Oblivion,
Yeah.
but the funniest thing is that the fast travel system actually made that system worse because you fast travel and it just gives you a static set of hours,
Yeah.
and you would run out the clock of the time sensitive quest you were going for if you fast traveled, so you had to travel on foot for those.
Right.
So
Oh, we got more of these guys,
yeah,
or just one of them,
kind
I
of a
guess.
kind
Guys,
of a
over there.
failing of the design, in my opinion. It is very neat still that you have something like these games, right, where the checkpoints aren't really existent, but there
Yeah.
was that really nifty point where the door you opened from the other side led you back to the town, the original town, so you could pick up those hirelings and stuff like that.
Right. Is our inventory full? That's insanity.
You should bring the mule with you, I
Yeah, I
guess.
am.
And okay, yeah, but nifty.
I feel like we didn't pick up that much, but inventory's filled out.
Then again, they were dropping a lot of basic items,
Yeah.
so
Well,
the only thing I could probably say is you don't need as many health potions now. Oh, hey, there's that explodey barrel.
yeah, we'll back away a little bit and then. Oh, these guys.
Well, if these guys want to be taken care of first, they're more than welcome.
Yeah, they were
That
they were stealthed over there. Like I didn't even know they were there.
Yeah, these guys tend to hold up in the corners, really.
Yeah.
Those snake bites definitely have run the course.
Pretty much. They're worth a decent amount if you can go sell them, though, is the problem.
So those gloves can probably go.
The gloves can go. There's some more leather gloves.
Do you need that extra shield?
I just want to look at what the spider silk bow is.
Yeah. Let's see. You could probably drop
that.
it. Yeah. Exactly what I was thinking.
There we go. Just get the snake bite.
What's the stats on that bad boy?
225 damage per 10 seconds. Requires strength 11, dexterity 13. So the only person close to using it is her. 90.
Yeah.
Everybody else has much lower. Well, I guess Alora's dex is pretty decent as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can probably select everybody and start putting the rest of the stuff you can't carry into the mule. Frees up some space that way. Gather around, everybody.
I'll just have the mule hang out in this little corner where he'll be relatively safe. Let's pop this open real quick. That was quite some accuracy there. 4 shots on a stationary target. Oh, that's a lot of... No, guys, stop. Hold ground.
Might want to send one of them to attack since one guy is just standing around.
Hold on. I'm trying to kite only a couple of them at a time.
Yeah. And there's a Zap guy in there too.
I'm not worried about him right now. Zap doesn't do that much damage.
It's a slow projectile, yeah.
Okay. Now, where's that Zap guy?
He's in there, so you might have to step back to lure him out. Otherwise, you're going to aggro everybody else in there.
Yeah, good point. Let's get him back out of the way, too.
Heal everybody up. They are on heal.
Oh, they are. Dang it.
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah, you could heal there.
I was wondering why the cursor was just, like, not doing anything. I was like, what's going on?
Well, there we go. The rest it is.
Yeah, that's alright. We took the brunt of the... I mean, the scorpions were the big problem. These guys are not.
Yeah, if you have to fight them all at once, then it's really terrifying.
Yeah.
This is probably the worst room in the mines for the sake of surviving. I have watched people pretty much get wiped here.
Jeez.
That spot because they aggravated the entirety of everything.
Right.
And you don't want to take on absolutely everything.
Yeah, you gotta try to... It's tough, but if you can aggro only a couple enemies at a time, that's usually the best way to do it. Just... There's our commander. Wow, he was not very effective.
Yeah, I guess what I said earlier is true. They really are diet orcs.
Well, we got a stun off on him is the problem. And he was just like, oh, I'm stunned, and now I'm dead. Divine Worm, very nice.
Didn't get his projectiles off either.
Right, that's the ideal situation.
Yep, time to bring the mule in.
I guess
Who
so.
can who can probably pick up that random health potion you have sitting in that wood opening.
If we're gonna... Yeah, I guess so. They can't drink potions, but they can pick them up.
And I mean, since you're probably going to be selling by the next town anyway, it seems pretty snazzy as a setup.
Yeah.
And you won't need as many health potions because you have healing hands. So you can free up a lot of inventory space that way. When you really think about it, mana potions just can be a health potion.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, if I actually have some characters using magic, there's reason to have a couple of those potions around, but not as many as I actually have, for sure.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, even I have something like that too. Like I have one giant health potion on my main tank,
Yeah.
and when I can't get everybody to cast again because it takes a wind-up animation to do,
Yeah.
the health potion is drank instantly. So it's a matter of if I want it to be instant or a wind-up animation to get taken off.
Right. Man, they're not even putting a dent into our hit points at this point.
Yeah, especially, I remember when those enemies just kind of scared you because they hit really hard, and with a few people to train on, it certainly got a lot of health down quick.
Right. What's in here? Oh, we got a golem. We have one less golem.
Did he get stunned there?
He must have.
He looked like he staggered a bit.
Something happened. It was weird.
I've not seen anything like that in a game. That is very interesting. Dungeon Siege enemies are not known for their stagger animations. They just kind of act until they're dead.
Right.
Like, I mean, there are a couple of things like that. With, I believe, certain bosses, when they, like, transition phases, they'll, like, do an animation or something to indicate they're hurt or something. But, I don't even think that's in the game. Wow, even this is full. You don't need those leather gloves, or the hat, I'm guessing. Or...
Yeah. We can either transmute it or we can come back for it. Probably just transmute it.
Yeah, it'd probably be best to transmute it. Heck, even those studded boots aren't worth too much, I think, so...
Yeah, it's just you lose so much value from transmuting. I'm trying to do it as little as possible.
That's perfectly fair. I mean, honestly...
But like with the leather gloves, they have a sell value of 3, and so it's like I lose 2 gold for transmuting them, which is not
it's
not a huge cost.
Huge cost or loss, yeah. Base level items too, so they can be bought anywhere, I believe.
Yeah.
Put back on your silly healing hands.
Oh, you know what I haven't done yet is I haven't done Charged Fist on everybody.
You can actually do multiple at once if you have any on the others.
I don't.
I'd select them.
I think I only have one copy of the spell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We've been passing it back and forth. And actually, everyone's inventory is full, so it'll just be him for now. That's fine.
Yeah. Pass the buff and switch back onto your melee, my man.
Oh, yeah.
He's on healing hand, yep. That is the mother of all Krug enemies right there, isn't it?
Is it?
maybe that's their last stand, so you might want to make your mule go back a bit.
Yeah, not a bad point. Alright.
I do notice there have been a couple of elevators, so...
Yeah. I just
Yep.
trying to clear the areas out first.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that's a nice hit. No, guys, come on.
I like how even the mage stopped deciding to be a mage and is just like, hey, I'm gonna come over here and smack you because the spell isn't good enough for you.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for him, but...
Oh, there's still 2 more of those guys. Dang. They're tenacious.
Well, hey, you're taking out the high damaging spellcasters first, so it makes sense.
Kinda. There we go.
These Krug commanders don't do nearly as much damage. They still do it, but, you know. Why is that one guy standing around?
I thought I fixed all of their
Oh, was
things.
his mana too low? Ah, it might have been.
Wait, did we not? I said heal him. There we go. Come on. There we go. Well, we're probably going to have to come back for some of this stuff, so I'm just not going to worry too much about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we've got a door.
Yeah, I'd skip the elevators for now in this case.
Yeah, if we have to come back anyway.
Pretty much, yeah. You probably don't even need to break these barrels.
Well, it doesn't hurt to get rid of them and get the items out on the floor.
I guess.
Then there's also just this little nook over here just to make sure that there's... These guys are fairly easy. As long as you get in close, nice and quick. And we'll deal with that staff later.
The only thing I worry about is if they don't respond, so I'd drop a save here just in case.
Yeah.
No harm in just making a save. There's that button.
Yep. Button. Who's got the button?
Oh, there's the elevator. That's probably the point where you would bring your mule, unless you want to leave them down here. I don't imagine so, since they have inventory you want to sell.
Well, I'm not sure where this leads. If it leads to a boss fight, then it might be better to go up once real quick and just check.
There's some more of that dynamic music for the moment.
Just a deep vertical shaft into the earth. This is not how mines usually work, actually, but okay.
Well, I mean, it's there for atmosphere.
Yeah, true.
Jeremy Soul. Hey guys, can you make a giant elevator tunnel? I want to musically flex for a minute.
Pretty much. There's that.
Oh, there's a sign right there. What do you say, friend?
Right? Glacern. That's the city we're headed to.
Isn't it Glacern?
I don't know.
Glacier.
Why are we... Oh,
Maybe
we're on attack. There we go.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead, stand around. You don't need to fight.
I have them on move freely. It's very strange.
Are they? I don't think they're all on
Oh,
attack
they
freely.
should all be on attack freely. Yeah.
Yeah, you see that little bullet point? Those two were not on attack freely, probably.
That's so irritating.
It is. I don't know why it keeps changing. Heck, even they're on different targeting duties, too.
Well, that's fine. Some of them are on target closest, and some of them are on target weakest. I'm alright with that. But like,
Yeah, that's fine.
they should all be attacking if there's something in range.
So I don't see a boss, so you could probably bring your mule.
Yeah, let's give it. I mean, there's no harm in giving it one more minute.
Well, that's fine, yeah. Especially since you have to ride the elevator both up and down again.
Well, I just have to have the. Probably it can pull a lever, can't it?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I think they specifically made it so it can't happen.
Or is this the
I
pathway?
mean, you're welcome to try. I didn't have any luck last time, but
No, I believe you. It's just somehow I didn't think of it. But let's make sure we actually have a fairly clear path to the town, guys. There we go. Whoa, she's taking some damage.
wolf. Yep, there's a wolf in your back lines.
Oh, it's a claw.
Oh,
Multiple claws.
wait, did they just jump out of the bush?
They
Yeah,
did
they
something.
did.
Yeah.
Jerk move game.
Yeah, it's one of those Fire Emblem ambushes.
Well, at least you don't have permadeath.
True. Well, so I was confused the first time that unconsciousness happened because I thought unconsciousness was death, and then I was like, "Oh, they're down," so they just get back up after a little while.
Yeah.
And then they did not, and then they got hit some more, and then they went to the RIP statue stone. I'm like, oh, I guess I need to get a resurrection scroll.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because the sequel game came through, and they kind of give it like this World of Warcraft style system, right? Where you can either rush to go get it or pay a small sum of money to get your stuff back on the spot.
Yeah.
I have to wonder what that system would have looked like for this game. I can't imagine it would be terribly fun, but
Brock mages. We haven't fought any of these yet.
These are the above ground version of those little zap guys, I'd imagine.
Everybody surround him and beat him to death. There we go. And we got another claw. She's taking some damage.
They are a bowman. They are not very well known for their direct prowess and that. Oh, well. Yep.
It's nice that there's a buffer between between alive and dead. A lot of RPGs don't have that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, you run out of hit points, you're done.
Yeah, it is one of the things I really like about it compared to the other contemporaries because it did something different, but it makes sense.
Right.
It's hard to die. Buddy?
He won't even move.
Uh-oh, is he stuck?
Maybe?
Oh, that's not good. Did you get the same glitch I did?
Maybe?
They can end up in the geometry and then you can't get them out anymore.
Ah, crud.
Well, I mean, you saved, I'm sure. If it comes down to it, you could do it off stream, but...
Yeah, that's true. I'll have to, maybe. We'll see if we can. Well, he turned colored again.
That's because you're in
No,
this.
he's moving now.
Oh. So yeah, for those who are playing this game alongside or checking this out for the first time or
Yeah, yeah.
interested, do not park your mules near geometry. Yeah, he can't
He
use it.
cannot use it. That is surprising, but there it is.
They can in the sequel. I'm pretty sure that was done for quality of life, but yeah.
Sure.
Um, yeah, it's don't park your mules next to geometry. They could end up in it, and you can never get them out.
Right.
Then you have to go. Then you have to go all the way back to like the beginning of the town where the mules are cheapest, and buy that one. So I ended up losing. I think it was Flare.
Uh huh.
I think the one you have is Flare, and then you get Silver Hoof if you go back.
Oh yeah. They have
And those
names.
are
That's surprising.
you get to name them in the sequel and everything. So yeah, if you're gonna play the sequel, you can take the time to think of what you would name certain types of pets. So yeah. Or you can be like me and just kind of come up with something stupid on the spot when you don't have a name. And
Sure.
so say hello to Spingledorf the Pack Mule.
Okay, now we'll deselect the pack mule and continue moving. Actually, we'll put the pack mule like there, away from all like buildingy stuff.
Mm-hmm. The music here is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people still talk about the soundscape of Jeremy Soule in some of his later works like Skyrim and stuff like that. And in my opinion, he's always done winter themes very well.
Uh-huh.
And heck, there's a whole game based around that that he did called Icewind Dale.
Right, I've heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard much of it, but I did see that it was on Steam.
Yeah, I think it's available on all the major thingamajigs these days.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're doing that while your team's ahead. Guess that's what you're gonna have to do. Push checks.
Yeah, we'll just have to inch forward a little bit. Oh boy. Come on. Heal him.
Oh.
Thank you. Kill the claw. And him, run away. Yeah, the advantage of the pause thing is that we can kind of
reassess
and move people if things appear to be unsustainable. Wow, he's down again.
Yeah, man, they hit harder. They are just kind of the worst versions of the mine enemies. It's weird because I didn't have this much trouble, but then again, I only had one melee character,
Right.
and I noticed they're shotgunning you if you get close to them.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, you see all the projectiles that were
Yeah.
coming your way? Now they're all just condensed to one area. Man, these enemies are a lot harder than I gave them credit for. They're also quite noisy.
They are all of that. Let's see if we can minimize damage a little bit by going back
spreading
to our...
out.
Well, having some people in the back and having some people in front. That seems to be working fairly well.
Yeah, it is. The high hit point units are taking the damage in the front while
while the lower... We had a couple little fights there where there was like one or two creatures that we didn't have to worry about the low hit point people so much. That was a very short-lived thing.
Well, if anything, this
of course I
brief
could
little...
have used the healing potions back there too.
You could have, But hey, you want the money.
Yeah, true. Oh, that's a lot of these things.
Oh yeah, oof. You don't want those low hit point units taking
Yeah,
that kind of punishment.
not if
They
they can help
stop
it.
moving because you selected their spell, so
Really?
there you go.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the wolves can do a lot together as a unit,
Yeah.
as you would expect. But yeah, I find them a little less terrible than the bush deer of doom. Yes, I know they have names. Do I remember them? No. Ooh. He didn't switch back to melee because he's mid-cast.
That's fine. Jeez.
Lagging behind there, bud. Very nice.
Whoa, she's taking some hits now too. What in the world? This is a little bit ridiculous. Maybe we need to
Yeah.
back out. Oh, she's gonna stand there and drink.
Yeah, that is the problem of health potions. They do that.
Okay, we've de-aggroed them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're out of mana.
Yeah, from all that healing spell stuff. I guess I can do
Yeah.
this and just.
If you hit M,
Is
it
it
will.
M? Yeah.
Yes. Yep, there you go. Everybody's full on mana. H and M.
H and M, right?
Or, or Q and E in the sequel, I think they do it as, but I tend not to worry about it too terribly much. Yeah, for being de-aggroed, they still hit like trains.
They do. But if we
From what I,
if we can only be hit by one of them at a time, it's not so bad.
yeah, from what I noticed, they have low accuracy but high damage.
Yeah. Well, they have enough accuracy at this point.
I mean, if there's multiple of them, then they're going to be probably as accurate as your whole posse is.
Right. There's still
It's the
more.
same. Yeah.
But now we're in. Now we're not going to get overwhelmed. I think. There we go. Then just heal him up a bit. And move in a little bit more.
Yeah, to kind of continue where I was, since I was talking about it earlier, and we were kind of in a huge skirmish for a bit there.
Yeah.
Games of their ilk of this time, stuff like when Morrowind was coming out and everything like that. I do like that a lot of those games back then had a little more depth than some of their modern day incarnations.
Oh yeah.
It's not modern day now, but it was for a time when I remember it. Dungeon Siege 3, they tried to put Dungeon Siege with controls like this on a console. Did it
Oof.
work? No.
I would imagine.
If anybody here is ever at all curious what Dungeon Siege 3 is like, don't. As a Dungeon Siege game, it's not good. If it weren't called Dungeon Siege, it would probably be pretty okay. But as a Dungeon Siege game, it's bad. I mean, that's already mentioned, but there's still people out there that give the game high praise because they don't know that the games before it were so well regarded.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are a lot of games that are styled after this that came after. Like, I do know there's the Torchlight series and whatever, something I was interested in.
Yeah.
But for me, a lot of the games that follow this style, like the Diablo style,
Yeah.
don't really scratch the same itch this kind of game is.
Well, it has the party based thing going on, which is very old school CRPG goodness kind of thing.
Yeah, there's also that cave there, but you're probably not going to go into it for all the loots.
I don't have. I just want to see. We got a Furok with 225 health. We're gonna leave him alone for the moment because we have a full inventory anyway.
Yep, exactly. Just stick to the road then. Oh, that's a boss version.
Oh, it is. Shoot, you're right.
I
Oh,
was
and there's
about
some
to
behind
say.
us too.
Well,
Ambush.
yeah,
Come on, guys, run, 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 run.
it's okay. They'll probably go back if you take a distance. I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. And then you can kite them one at a time.
that's ridiculous.
The bush ones don't seem to be
Let's
going
do
back.
a hold ground.
You wanted to move a little bit, not select the character.
I know.
I just feel you, that's all. It's the way I am too.
The character like touch boxes are a little funky.
Yeah.
And like considering how ranged weapons and stuff work in this game, there's not really an option for like these don't give you a good option for hey, let's see if we can take out the small fry first. But it's like, if you have archers or long range people, there should be an option to have them be quite a ways back.
I don't even think that's in the sequel, actually. I think it's all manual kiting.
Yeah. It's a little irritating. A little sad. A lot of games that have this kind of RTS or just even a strategy element make the mistake of making ranged things very weak. Like there's a series called Front Mission, which is kind of like a mecha turn-based strategy, and it's quite good. But like the difference in range between like a shotgun and a sniper rifle is like 2 squares. And that's well within the range of motion of any mech in one turn. And so it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to use those long range weapons because they're slower and heavier and etc.
Yeah.
It's just really sad when certain possible types of strategies could exist but aren't allowed to because of the limitations of the way that the game is set up like that.
Yeah. And it's like,
Okay,
I don't
those
necessarily.
guys. I hear them.
Yep. Behind the trees.
Of course they are. Yeah, the way that the enemies hide behind things is extremely irritating.
Yeah.
Because it's like they
I
can
guess,
see us, but we can't. They can target us, but we can't easily target them.
well, I mean, you can. You just have to know where they are, and you don't have a mini map.
And you can't
which,
scroll. You can't scroll your position, right?
Yeah.
So if they're behind
There
something, they might actually be hidden.
There is actually a mini map in the sequel because this was one of the complaints of the game that I don't know where the enemies are coming from, so they add little. I've heard that freeware sound effect in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a mini map in the sequel, and it is really useful because it does point out where enemies are coming from. Ooh. Bush wolves.
Yeah. Well, white wolves. Okay, there's that.
Thankfully, there wasn't as many of them because they just poured out one by one at the bush. But yeah, they hit quite hard.
Yep. And if they get to one of your rear people, it's just kind of like, oh, we got to spend all our time healing them.
Mm-hmm. New music.
Yep.
inching away.
Well, if they're gonna start spawning things out of thin air, I just gotta kind of go slow,
Yeah,
like that. Like,
exactly like that. But you were ready.
well, we didn't get overwhelmed. Is what's important.
It probably helps that you're inching along in that case because they're tied. Their spawn is tied to where you're positioned.
Right. He just spawned out of that bush.
Yeah, I was about to say, never trust bushes. You can't be far from the next town, can you?
I hope so.
Ah, person!
What? Where?
Over there. Straight ahead up the stairs.
Oh, yeah, I see him.
That's
2 guards.
that's the town.
Okay,
That's the
great.
town. Awesome. Ho ho ho.
Finally. Well met, stranger. The Overseer wants to speak with anyone who comes in from the south. Sergeant Legion orders. You should be able to find him at the Lucky Hurgus Inn. Never seen the wolves attack a well-armed party. Something's got them off for sure. Set them off for
Something
sure.
set them off, yeah. Like it's well,
Hopefully nothing else spawns.
I can't imagine they will if you stick to the road. If you go off the road, probably it could happen, but
Yeah.
even then, you'll probably outrun it either way.
Yeah.
Yes, you are more than welcome to tell your mule to hoof it if something does spawn.
Yeah.
But yeah, games of the ilk that came from the same composer and stuff like Jeremy Soule, who handled a lot of these games with a certain style
Sure.
back in the day. I liked stuff like Morrowind because it had depth and stuff, and Daggerfall too, actually, had a lot of depth. The character builds could be busted too, and I really liked the trait system.
Yep.
The trait system, the little quirk system they had for Daggerfall was neat, and I remember very specifically that in something like Fallout New Vegas, they kind of added something like that back, but for Fallout.
Yep.
And Fallout New Vegas is friggin' amazing
Mm-hmm.
if you can get it with the bug fix patches and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it really frustrated me because Bethesda was like, Obsidian, you can only make a sequel if you get a certain thing on Metacritic, and they were 1 point off, and so we didn't get anything from them. And I feel like if Obsidian focused on that instead of Dungeon Siege 3,
Yeah.
that would have definitely been something a little bit better, because what happened with Dungeon Siege 3 is
Our
like, he
hero
was off.
emerged from the wilderness with a message of warning for the Overseer and a spirit strengthened to endure the travails that were yet to unfold.
Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sitting there just pondering that, like, has our character said literally anything to anybody, or have they just been talked at the whole time?
It's one of those things where it's like implied that they're saying something, but like it's never.
Yeah.
It's silent protagonist garbage.
Yeah. Anyway, the shop you're looking for is straight ahead in that temple and beyond it, but there's a side quest thing, I think, in this house. Yeah, I enjoy the tune of this town.
Looks like you've seen your fair share of battle, friend. With any luck, these counterattacks the Overseer is planning will finally give me something to tell my grandchildren. Not this house.
Okay. Can't be far off.
There's a... It just says Glacern, or Glacern, or whatever.
Yeah, you can step on that.
Does it go up?
We'll see.
Oh yeah, it does. It's cute. I hate this shift. I swear that old statue is staring at me. They say it was up here all by itself when the first settlers arrived. And back down.
You just get... Well, that's all you needed to do, so...
You may go.
I like the idea that the guard is just, like, talking and complaining at the job while he cranks the lever and forces you down.
Yeah.
Like, alright, you've heard enough, get down. Hey, there's somebody in the center here.
Is there? Oh yeah, there is.
It's a bit nippy out there, eh? Well, thank the seven powers, I don't have to live here year-round. I only come up here to run experiments. Eating and freezing spells, that makes you a beast. In any case, you can have a look at some of my potions and spells, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at your potions and spells. And by look at your potions and spells, I mean sell most of mine.
I mean, give me money.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, this must be a huge relief.
Finally, we can sell all this random garbage that we have and... Oh wait, let's be careful here. We have a bunch of boiled leather gloves. I don't know that we need any of that.
You can get rid of the snake bite.
Yeah. We can get rid of these staffs. The yearling staffs are not particularly good. Wait, is this one special?
Just sell.
Yeah,
Nope.
they're not particularly good. Cutter might be useful. The
Three
recurve bow is
curve
pretty
is
good.
good.
The heft axe is garbage.
I'll hold on to these until you can see what you get.
Yeah.
More staves. Remember, you can control click to quick sell.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to
Organize.
a little bit too. Yeah.
What I tend to do is I'll sell the staves and stuff like that. You know, those yearling staves up there, and then I'll hit K to sort. Yeah, none of these.
Well, these are actually kind of good. Look at the damages on them; they're actually decent.
Yeah, I'm talking about those staves in the middle there.
312, 361, 232. Those are all pretty good.
I mean, in melee damage, probably. Bye-bye, snake bite.
It's kind of a shame. It's a cool looking sword.
It is. Who knows? Maybe something of its kind will show up later.
Hopefully. Peak cap. Wait, was that a... Those are boiled leather. They might be useful. That's not useful. That's good, but not good enough.
Not anymore, anyway.
Yeah. Trash that. Trash that. Trash that.
You can use that staff now. But
Oh,
even then, but that bonus isn't very great.
If we get surrounded or something, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, it has utility, but yeah. I mean, I guess you can probably just trade it and sell the old one.
Cruel staff of life force. I mean, it's better than what he's got. We can sell what he has. We can move on here. That's garbage. That's garbage. Garbage. Garbage.
Another snake bite.
Yeah.
And you have 4 of those same bows, so do you really need 4 copies?
Probably not, no. Are they all exactly the same? Yeah, they are. Get rid of 2 for the moment.
Yep. And you can sell from the mule, actually.
Yeah, I know. I'll get there in a second. That's trash. That's not terrible. For one of our, like, less good melee people, maybe? Once they get the chance to use it. Some people still need studded leather gloves. Like, he can't use them yet, but there'll be an improvement when he can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty good here. And then, oh wow, that's a little bit harder to see.
Just a little,
These short recurves are kind of trash. Weather leather, mage leather, page shield, thick leather, rough burlap, torn leather. So much garbage armor.
Yeah.
Goring
Means-
cloth, 6. Yeah, no.
And that shield too.
Yeah, it's on the edge. The hack can
Teetering.
go. That other hack can go. I'm just gonna sell all these potions. Well, at least the mana potions. We might throw the other potions at somebody else. This isn't bad because of the enchantment on it.
Yeah.
This is not good enough.
You
boiled
have the
gloves.
staves. And another copy of that bow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not an exact copy. So
Well, this is a
there are-
battered longbow. It's even garbagey.
Yeah, it's more trash. So there is a button you see down there with the potions, right?
Yeah.
That is the auto allocate potions button. For every selected character you have, you can auto distribute
Is that what that
to
does?
your
Nice.
yeah. So it's a pretty as even as it's going to get distribution.
Sure. Okay, fair
And-
enough. Does he sell armor and stuff? He sells garbage armor, it looks like.
Oh no, he doesn't sell. He wasn't selling any. You
Oh,
just
this
sold
is the stuff I
your-
gave to him. Of course, of course.
Yeah. So he's selling spells, potions, and books.
Right. Is anyone missing a spell book? No, everyone has a spell book. But he has better spell books, right? He has these special ones. They're required
Yeah,
until 16, which nobody
And look at
has.
and look at their price.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
That's everything you have.
Oh, well, they're
Almost.
slightly different. Like this one's is 6 to armor is 1,000. That's not bad. This one's
not.
4,000, 11,000. This one's 48,000.
Yeah, I tend to get the
Crazy.
when I have to go back to town, the
Yeah.
previous one that is. What I'll do is I'll buy some of their generic tomes there, and then I'll give everybody that upgrade, and then kind of work through the motions. But
Yeah.
since you're moving forward, all you would probably get is Zed that 6
Good
armor
luck
book.
to you then, and try to stay warm.
That statue is a resurrection statue.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
That's one of the unique ones in this game that will bring your character back alive to it, I believe.
Oh, really?
If you die and don't have a scroll,
Right.
that will bring them back.
That's handy. Can't you see I'm with a customer? I cannot. Somebody's been disturbing the spirits of the dead over the last week. I'm swamped with keeping them supplied. If you need something, talk to Onak. He's handling all the living customers this week.
Are you talking to your mimic friend? Is that
She's talking
your
to
customer?
a box. That's her customer,
It's got to be a mimic. It's always a mimic.
of course. Master Onak is going to have my hide. I borrowed a trilogy of books about Fedware's Way and lent out 2 of them to friends, but now I don't remember to whom I lent them. Onak won't let me leave while he's keeping shop, and I'm sure he will find them missing any time now. Might you have a few minutes to ask around town? Sure. You're a very kind, stranger. I will gladly reimburse you for your trouble. Here's one of the books so you know what they look like. Fedware's Way, Volume 3.
That's a quest-specific thing.
Yep.
So maybe you would talk to that guard up in the elevated area to see. Oh yeah, I think you have to pick it up. Hit the book on the ground.
Oh, it's on the ground.
Yeah, see that?
Why is it on the ground? I'll give you this book so that you can see what it's like. And he just tosses it on the ground and the conversation is over.
I like the idea that he just takes out this big book and plonks it on the floor instead of handing it to you with your outstretched.
Right, yeah? That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, thank you. And then he's like, pick it up.
It's like a cat that knocks things over.
Yeah. Excuse me, what are you doing up? Oh, I see you have one of the Fedware books. They're good reading. I just finished this one. You can borrow it as long as you get it back to that mage kid when you're done. Alright. And he throws it on the ground, too. Nice guy.
I mean, that one could make more sense. He's looking out and he's like, oh, so you're reading that book? tosses it behind him over his
guess.
shoulder.
Yeah.
And your character's probably sitting there like, you do realize that could have fallen over
Yeah,
the tower, right?
Into the snow.
Yeah.
He is not the other holder of book number 3.
I think you can actually read those books.
Yeah, sure I can. I'm way back backlogged on lore books. I know what I saw. Strange things are afoot. Thanks. There hasn't been a Furrock seen around these parts for 20 years. We just killed one.
We killed like 12.
No, the Furrocks was just one of them. That big, big abominable snowman dude.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But there was another one in the cave. So
there are a lot more in that cave, by the way.
I want to go home to Stonebridge now, but the Overseer says the road won't be secure for another week.
Blast men. The Overseer would give audience to a dog wearing the Legion's colors, but will he listen to his own niece? I've seen the Mage Merrick in my dreams, trapped in the ice caves north of here. For generations, my family's had the sight of dreams. But what am I given to do? Scrubbing, cooking, and minding the inn, that's what. Ooh! Good day to you. I'm glad someone will finally be permitted to do something about this mess we're in.
The Overseer seems determined to reinforce everything west of Glacern, while Captain Teresh is left to fight the Droog with a single company of men. Teresh is brilliant, but I hope brilliance is enough. We haven't had to fight the Droog in centuries. If they can fight like they can smith, we're in for a tough fight.
Yeah, so that's it. I like how grumpy she was.
Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. From what I heard, the Overseer withdrew the patrols along Fedor's Way so he could have enough men to secure Glitterdelve and the Stonebridge.
My cousins are fighting dragons, and what do I get? God duty.
It said that the Queensman sigil appeared here last week. I asked the captain about it. He gave me extra patrol duty for a week, and I still don't know why everyone's hush about it.
Funny I mentioned that because here's this guy complaining about a duty he's given.
Yep.
If you've some business with the Overseer, I suggest you speak to him directly about it. I'm just here to deliver word on the state of things at Fort Croth.
Chieftain, tell Kroruk, bring caravan safe to Kingdom of Eve. I bring to Stonebridge, the mule-eating crew burn town. Driver steals wagon, driver takes Kroruk gold, and driver runs away. Kroruk tracks to Glacern, but cannot chase further. Kroruk help you if you help him. Kroruk good at smashing, beating, crushing, anything. You like?
He's not too different from your dwarf guy.
We'll decline for now.
Yeah. They're pretty much in the exact same build, only one has the ability to heal, this guy wouldn't.
I'm sorry, we aren't used to so many Legionnaires off shift at one time. Can you just rest here until we have an opening? If the Overseer hadn't called me back for active duty, I would be sleeping in my own bed right now, not in this bloody hallway.
There are not enough beds.
Right. They're occupied.
Well, they absolutely are sleeping in there. Doing a little of that me.
They are conked out. Like, they just, like, collapsed on these beds.
Exactly. That's exactly why I went me. They're just gone. Who knows if they're even alive?
Well, if they're alive, then the grumpy innkeep lady will have even more cleaning to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
so
time to advance the story, yeah? Or?
Lieutenant Shia.
The Krug have always been and always will be a pawn of opportunists. I just don't see how goblins could stir them up like this. There must be another explanation. If your report from the West is correct, we owe you a great deal of thanks. The Overseer will have to reconsider our next move. If America is being held by the goblins, there is no time to waste in locating their stronghold within the eastern swamp. You're the Overseer.
I appreciate your enthusiasm to help, soldier, but I've got a battle to plan. It doesn't take a fool to see this all start the day our Grand Mage Merrick vanished. Find him, and you'll find the cause of this mess.
Maybe.
The Legionnaires tell me it's even worse over the mountain. If you want to make yourself useful, go reinforce the men at Fortress Croft. Just follow your nose through the ice caves and you'll get there soon enough.
Oh. The dwarf guy was talking about the Overseer. What does he have to say about that? Since he was all like, Talk to the overseer first.
You mean this guy?
The guy back at the end.
Oh,
You know, the little dwarf guy that's like, I'm Jules Tiefer.
right. Oh, him. Okay.
He's like, talk to the overseer first. Hey, we did that.
And now we cut in line past him, and he's angry, probably.
If the Overseer sees fit to send you out on a madman's quest, I should at least see you've a chance at living through it. I'm the best mage in these parts, and I may be old, but I was roasting goblins with mage fire when your daddy's daddy was a whelp. If you've the gold so's I can settle my accounts here, we can get moving afore you can say bless the Glitterdell. Will you have me along?
A dwarven mage? 16 intelligence is
Combat
pretty
mage.
darn good. Yeah. What do you think? Accept?
I would absolutely, yeah.
All
Good
right.
enough. Let's be off then.
Another mage for us.
This is kind of why I was questioning a little earlier why you were switching one character over to combat who was otherwise using other class stuff. And
Well,
it's mainly just because it didn't seem like you had one. Yeah, it's... Oh yeah, they need to be in vicinity if they're going to trade items.
oh, for goodness sakes. All right, fine.
Yeah, Control A, everybody get in one place.
I was gonna leave them in the place so they could not be freezing, but whatever.
Well, they're not going to be bothered. You can leave the dwarves in giant puddles of water where they would otherwise drown, and they will never drown.
No, I
But
know.
either way, it seems like they're not coming because they're a ways away. So
Oh, they're coming. I'm sure they'll figure it out. No, maybe not.
Nope.
They aren't. Maybe because this door is
The
closed.
door. Yep, exactly that. And there you go. Now you can gather everybody around.
So in Ultima 7, there was actually a mechanic where your characters needed to like have warm clothes in certain areas, and if they wore too many warm clothes in other areas, they would overheat.
Really?
It's a mechanic that I've never seen in any other game, and yet it added so much to the
young buck out to save
atmosphere.
the world. I had that same glint in my eye once. Fought my way out of some pretty tight scrapes before I traded in my blade. So, you're heading out to the ice caverns. A slippery slope, that. Better outfit yourself real good. Care to see what I've got?
I prefer to
Best
call
of
it.
luck now.
I prefer to call it the ice cap zone, but okay. I had to take a job with blacksmith to pay for my room at the Lucky Hergus. My basement had become overrun with enormous frost beats, and every time I opened my door, a pack of wolves would attack me. I don't know when I can go home, but Fulton needs the help, and offered to lend me his adventuring gear if I keep up the good work through the Legion withdrawal. You seem a persistent sort. There's a chest and some crates in my basement. If you can clear the monsters out, you're welcome to what you find. My house is in the woods north of here. Bizarre.
Back again, are you? I'll bet you. Best of
Everybody
luck
gather.
now. Fight well.
The door's
Did I close
closed.
the door?
Yep,
Crazy.
you did. You can use the party form, too.
You'll
There
be
you
fine.
go. That's alright.
Back again, are you?
Alright. Can we upgrade anything?
Oh, plenty.
Well, it's a question of whether we can use any of it.
Or afford it in conjunction with the other things.
Right.
And plus, there was also the stuff you left behind, not to mention the spells that you just threw in the spell book to make space last time.
Oh God, yeah. You know what? We're almost 2 hours in. Probably this is a good time. I probably should have said this 20 minutes ago. But no, you know what? Let's cut that for the moment. Let's go finish this book quest real quick, and then we'll call it an episode.
Yeah.
I should really set aside time off stream to do that. I didn't realize I would be sitting there for so long.
Yeah. It is a whole nother side of the game. It's like you're playing two different games at that point.
Yeah. Hey, were you born in a barn? Shut the door. Or you're looking for books, are you? As a matter of fact, I do have one that Arden lent me here. Tell him thanks. All right. Let's finish the episode with getting up to date on
pick it up.
He put it on the ground again?
Yes, he did.
He asked me if I was born in a barn, and then he throws a book on the ground like a...
So I'm
Like a
guessing
half
you're leaving
orc.
now you're just leaving it open. His door is stuck open now, and he can't close it.
He deserves it. All right, we've got a bunch of lore to go through real quick. Let's go through that, and then we'll call this an episode. Did anybody else have books? Yes. Okay, books. We'll start with this one, Remembrance of Mags. A direct descendant of the mule packs imported by Etten Stonebridge, Mags was one of the most remarkable animals to ever tread the Glitterdelve's stony passages. He preferred to wander the darkness of the mines than be above. Or she would often chew her way free of her restraints, only to be found hours later standing near exposed veins of gold. Other miners began to experiment with gold sniffer Mags' gold homing nose, discovering to their fortune that she possessed an uncanny knack of gravitating to undiscovered deposits of rare metals. But Mags could also be temperamental and sometimes demonstrated her peak by leading miners to drill barren shafts which the locals began to call mag holes. Beloved for her unusual talent, she easily would have been remembered in the history books of the Glitterdelve, but it was her actions during the Great Blast of 943 which would forever ingrain her into the hearts and minds of her keepers. Following the accidental ignition of unvented gases in a newly hewn coal shaft, the passages of the mine became a howling death trap of flame and flying rock. Whether disoriented by the blast or truly perceiving what had occurred, she broke free from her restraints and plunged into the roiling black smoke of the mine. Even as stunned dwarves and men bolted from the fury of the roaring catastrophe. Vanishing from the sight of terrified onlookers for nearly a quarter hour, Mags at last stumbled from the mine, dragging 3 half-dead miners by the trailing rope of her broken harness. Able only to stagger a few yards from the entrance with her tremendous burden, Gold Sniffer Mags collapsed in a wheezing heap never to rise again. Having pulled the last survivors of the Great Blast to safety, Mags died the following morning, surrounded by weeping men who knew her for the one-time miracle she truly was. 18 years later, the monument to her final heroism would be constructed at the very spot she died. Awesome.
Funny bird.
Then we've got the occupation of Fortress Croth. Built following the Great Relocation, fortified in the era of the War of Legions. Fortress Croth is the only remnant of Sek architecture which still stands in the kingdom. Initially used to repel the Droog, the fortress served only twice in official military capacity and was inhabited only for the 23 years that the Sek enjoyed freedom in Ebb. Among the strangest features of the fort is its underground Hall of Skulls, which was originally a mission built by human pilgrims from the east. The Sek captured and desecrated it, used it as a storage hall, prison, and breeding farm for their spiders. Following the banishment of the Sek, Fortress Croth was abandoned, preserved by edict to stand always as a reminder of the Sek and their ultimate betrayal of the Kingdom of Ebb. Despite its lack of living occupants, the fortress was rumored to be very much alive even to 200 years after the last occupants were executed by Kingdom soldiers. Human screams were said to come from its basements at all hours, a terrifying recollection of the horrors committed by the Sek during their brief takeover of Ebb. Another phantom occurrence occurred with the fort. Associated with the fort are the occasional discoveries of Sek arrows driven into trees within bowshot range of Croth's walls, despite the fact that nothing of their kind has been manufactured for centuries. And finally, we have 3 of these. Fedrir's Way, Volume 1. In the 5th century, the first record of the wonders that would one day be known collectively as Fedrir's Way was penned by the famed Agallan cartographers Fedwir and Klars. They described a network of natural caverns as cramped, stinking, and foul series of holes, and noted in their journals as the only means to traverse the Green Range. Winding through miles of mineral-bearing rock, where Frostspire Mountain collides with the Green Range, Fedwir's Way varies from open-air fissures, barely wide enough to slide through a single person, to caverns vast enough for a litter of dragon whelps to spread their wings. Marking the way along the uniluminous stones chipped from rocky outcroppings, the explorers left behind a legacy that would later guide Imperial traders in the 10th Legion to the interior of Ebb. To this day, the mineral-rich Glitterdelve, slippery alpine caverns, and phosphor-littered subterranean river are still the primary path by which travelers pass between Mount Frostspire and the Green Range. Exploratory shafts in the 8th century revealed the presence of iron, driving Imperial traders to push harder for Droog concessions in the region. Later, the discovery of golden coal fueled the expansion of the early kingdom, and regular mineshafts began to shore up the unpredictable interior of Mount Frostfire. Number 2. For all the natural wonders of Fedwir's Way, the folk of the kingdom have wrought miracles on their own while improving conditions in the Glitterdelve mine. Chief was the gigantic sorceress delving machine fashioned by the first mages of the kingdom. Elevators and conveyors, sluices running melted ice and snow down from Glacern, provided fresh drinking water for the miners. and a medium to separate gold from rocky silt. Tragedy struck the mines in the Great Blast of 943, which we read about in the story about the other donkey. Explosive vapors touched off the chain reaction that buried many of the more valuable veins beneath tons of rock. Reduced the delving machine to a useless pile of scrap. That delving machine was probably that lever that we couldn't pull. In many respects, the post-blast generation of Glitterdelve miners had to reinvent the art of mining. Those who came to Glitterdelve in search of the kingdom's greatest source of wealth were startled by the austerity of its camps. In the decades since, little has changed in this insular community of rugged mountain men miners and self-styled individualists. So long as gold glitters in the seams of rock, and the kingdom's tax collectors leave them with a coin to spend in the local tavern, they are content to be citizens of Ebb. And finally,
Wow.
a series of caverns, originally discovered by the Agallan explorer. Wait, didn't we just read this? No, this is a little different. A vast array of subterranean waterfalls, bright crystal outcroppings, and thermal plumes. The difficult challenge of travelers is the myriad creatures that call the caverns home, the territorial Trog. Several campaigns of the 10th Legion sought to clear the Trog menace and establish a secure trade route. These campaigns never managed to eliminate the Trog, but a subsequent increase in a variety of other more reclusive creatures did result. The surviving Trog are considerably less aggressive, though they still present considerable danger when encountered in groups of more than 2. Maintaining the safety of the caverns requires regular Legion patrols, dispatched from Glacern. A luxury which can only be afforded in times of peace. In times of war, the patrols withdraw, which means that the native creatures return to their passageways, which means we're going to have to fight a bunch of them as we enter that area, if and when.
It is. Well, this game made a fool out of me because the last episode, I believe, in the mines while we were there and delving in Glitterdelve, I mentioned that machine wasn't working even though there was a lever there, and the game didn't explain it, but the game did.
Apparently the game explains it. Or at least we can... maybe it did. I guess we don't know for sure that it's the same thing, but...
I didn't make the connection, yeah.
Thank you, friend. You've saved my job and maybe my life. Take this gold and gratitude. Yay. All right.
And the books
and the gold's on the ground, too.
I'm just gonna drop this bag of coins. They spill out all over the temple.
Pick them up. Hey, have you ever played 52 Pickup? What?
I just like the idea that he's just standing there like, you give him the books and he's like, thank you. Smiles, holds out a bag of coin, drops it as soon as you try to grab it. It splashes everywhere.
I imagine there's a pile of coins in his hand. He just slowly tips his hand over and everything falls out as he just death stares you in the face.
Exactly, just deadpans it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh.
And his face never changes as you pick up everything.
No, of course not. Oh.
But yeah, there you go. Orb of Fire, that's going to be really helpful, actually. Because you can combine that with regular spells and double up on damage. The summon is going to be...
Too.
The summon is going to be your primary, absolutely. I would put that in the second slot. You are...
Does it... It has a duration, so we'll do the same thing that we do with the, whatchamacallit?
Charge Fist.
The Charge Fist, and just at the start of an episode, we'll throw some of that out. What I'll probably do, for anyone watching this in post, you probably saw a cut where I was basically just in the shop for half an hour, fiddling with things, and I will probably cut that out because nobody needs to see that. I'll probably leave up like a version. I'll put it in a separate video, and it'll be like optional. That way, people don't look at it and be like, "Oh, I need this," because you don't. You really don't.
For some people, I know there's an editing style where it's like very quick jump cuts on YouTube where they just do everything at once.
Yeah.
And you see every bit that was sold and every bit that was bought.
Yeah, I find those to be incredibly irritating personally.
I was about to say, I don't know if that's necessarily what would work.
It wasn't even like that I was doing a design set of things like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It was just like, oh, is this thing better than what we have? I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it a little. So anyway, that should all be cut. And we're gonna cut here. I'll do some off-stream stuff of further organizing our inventory and things like that, and that way hopefully everything will be all set up for the next episode.
maybe even getting the items that were left behind.
Yeah, I might do that too. That's probably a really good idea.
Yep.
So, we will call this an episode here for today. Thanks, Diz, for hanging out.
Of course.
Do you have anything that you want to plug, or like a channel, or any videos that you're working on, anything?
For my end, nothing really too much. I got a lot of real life stuff going on before I delve into any of that.
Oh,
I
sure.
might think about doing it later down the line, but for now, if I had to plug anything, I definitely check out the YouTube videos I've mentioned in some of the past episodes. The Ross Scott's Dungeon Siege video, the game dungeon episode he did, is a really excellent watch. And the history of Dungeon Siege on YouTube also as well is a really good watch as well,
Okay.
because it goes through the motions of the series for anybody that would be interested in checking these out, because this is one of my favorite styles of this game.
Yeah.
And I think more people should check it out. So if there's anything I want to plug, it's Dungeon Siege.
All right, cool. I'll see if I can find those videos. I'll put them up in the description, so hopefully somebody will be able to take a look at those. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. What have we got going on? Friday we've got Dying Light. Monday we've got Ogre Battle, and we'll be back to this on Wednesday. And then over on the YouTube channel, where if you're watching this in post, you'll be seeing this. On Tuesdays we've got Labyrinth of Toho, and on Thursdays we've got Dragon Quest III, the Super Famicom remake. That's pretty interesting. So
crazy to think you might be done potentially with Labyrinth of Toho too.
Soon. I mean, like I would like to show all the
game,
all the Infinity Corridor bosses, but that's going to be like slow going.
Oh yeah.
And
especially considering what you said in the episode is you're bored of it, and I don't blame you.
Well, the thing about the Infinity Corridor is that like it's not just that I'm bored; is that there's no way to stop in the middle of it, and so like I literally am stuck for 8 hours going through and like looking for multiple exclamation point treasure chests and praying that there's quartz charms in them, basically.
Just sleep at your computer, wake up and do more of the game.
I mean, you know, I mean, not last week, but the week before last, I had it on for 8 hours, but I only played 6.
Yeah.
Because I like stopped to like cook dinner. I just had to leave it on.
That's perfectly acceptable, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll call it here for today, and see y'all later.
Interested to see where this goes.
Yes. Probably should save too.
Just to be safe.
Just in case, right? All right.
Yes.